Hi guys, and welcome to another Stalker of the week, which is Apocalypse. Alright, I'm just gonna go over some of the basic messages before we get into the reading. First and foremost, what is Stalker of the week? Well, in this case it might actually be far more appropriate to call it Stalker of the month. It is a collective reading I do on a particular energy that stood out during the mid-monthly readings. There were a lot of repeating energies for the zodiac signs for these mid-monthly readings, but one stood out really much for me, and that is the apocalypse. And we're gonna go over this here as a collective reading, see what's in this energy, and as always, take what resonates with you, leave behind the rest, never ever force it to fit if it doesn't. Hold on, just gonna, there we go. Okay, so this may be a little bit of a long reading because the apocalypse is actually a rather significant energy. It's revelation, and that is a slight complex thing to explain. Revelation, it's unveiling truth. It's the unknown becoming known. So normally I would do a stalker reading where we look into what's the message and, you know, what can you do, can't you do, what most likely outcome and all that. What we're going to do here is we're going to go into it a little bit differently because, as I said, this is a reading about something being unveiled, becoming known. This energy ties up to two particular. The reason why it stood out to me is because it stands out as a most likely outcome for some of the signs, but not just the signs, also more planetary placements, if you want to say, if you can say like that. In particularly Pluto, Saturn, and a few others. But yeah, I'm just very curious about what this is about. We're looking into it as a collective reading, okay? Right, I'm gonna start here by reading you the apocalypse, and then we're gonna look into what is known right now, where you are, and all of that as a collective, right? And then what is unknown, and then what will be unveiled, how that will then, where's that taking you here, collective. Again, take what resonate with you, leave behind the rest. Apocalypse, I just want to briefly read it out here. Well, first and foremost, the apocalypse, without reading, apocalypse is an energy, as I said, it is about unveiling truth, about revelation. So no unknown becomes known, and that can, as it says here, indicate a painful time, one that unfolds when two disparate dynamics occur simultaneously, pulling the psyche in seemingly opposite directions. The first is a lifting of the veil. That's when truth becomes unveiled, right? This means the truth that has been kept in the dark or revealed, seen, and unearthed. Unearthed, right? But does that mean that's something that you might, something that someone, if this isn't like we talk in the religious terms or spirit, something sacred being profaned, right? Becoming accessible to you. That's truth, right? This means that revealing it is to reveal it is to witness it, then come into the light. All right, let me just read this again. This means truth that has been kept in the dark or revealed, seen, and unearthed. No matter how reliving it is to witness them come into the light, an element of despair and grief follows. That is because, you say truth hurts. It can, even though it's liberating. There's a lot of liberation in just having the bloody truth, even though it hurts. It's the same thing as, when someone, I'm gonna give an example here of like breaking up with someone. It hurts to be broken up with, and it's not a pleasant experience, but it liberates, right? That's why, if I personal opinion here, I believe a lot of chasing and all of that stems from people not breaking up properly, because it becomes too easy to ghost, to just run away from the responsibility and not facing the pain, because it's also painful. It's a painful experience for both, right? Well, let's see here. That's just a side note. The second dynamic is the regeneration that comes from the wreckage of the revealed truth. The old narrative breaks and a new story forms. Apocalypse's energy is similar to a forest fire, devastation for the sake of regeneration. The veil lifts and we see who and what has been hiding. From the nakedness of the truth, a child is born. Have faith in the process, hold on to your center, that is the only way. Now, the good thing about this one is that it came out, when it came out, it came up upright. So it wasn't about nihilism and hopelessness, but it has showed up in certain situations, and I have seen it in the commentaries. There can be a sense of hopelessness. Because it's removing the veil of deception, right? That is part of the process. This is basically death and tower combined together in ways. So it's deconstructing a reality, unveiling things, but then something comes into the light. Now, when we speak at a level where it's not about, you having your entire world shattered together, it's basically like, it's very similar here to how you work with forms of knowledge, right? When you dispute something, you bring an alternative understanding to an established truth, and that is painful because then you have to adapt, and then you're dealing with change and adaptation, and that's not always, a fun thing to go through. It can feel like a violent experience, meaning that for instance, it doesn't have to be like, it doesn't have to be, I know I use terms that I can seem a little bit over the top, but it's not like that. It's more of, it can feel trespassing because you have to adapt. And is it a human trait to try and you don't like change? It depends who you are, right? But if you don't like change, apocalypse is not fun. But because here's the thing, when you speak truth, it also speaks against your established truth, and then you have to face yourself as saying, well, it's not maybe you were wrong, or maybe you weren't, but adaptation is needed. So we're gonna see what this is about, right? But I have shuffled, and the fun thing is that when oh my god, yeah, you know what? A few interesting energies that pops up here is that the bardo is in reverse here. What is the bardo? That is the liminal. That's the in between, right? I can explain this. Let's say we have something here that's known. See if I can draw it for you here. We have something that is known, and on the other side we have something that is unknown, which is what we're looking into. And then we have the bardo. You can think of the bardo like and space in between what is known and unknown. This is where we have the potential. You can think of what is known as something that has actualized, and something that is unknown as something that's potential. But everything that we have actualized into reality is, I'm just gonna throw it out here, just you can disagree, right? A potential that has moved into reality in some way, right? The bardo is all of the other ones that was not actualized, all the other potentials. I'm gonna want to look up in the bardo here, and then I'm gonna pull out here, right? Then we're gonna start with doing the reading. I just want to lay out some of the interesting observations that I got here. Show me the bardo. The threshold. Yeah, the bardo comes before the threshold. The threshold being the initiation. The bardo is just a step beforehand, right? That is the spacious, that is the, not really the empty space, similar to it, but it is, yeah, it's the place between life and the next, the liminal realm through which soul pass. It's the place where we go to envision. It's a mysterious place that creates the potential for us to create, and then we have the creator, right? To create above the concerns of this world and see our relationship through a cosmic and timeless lens. Alright, anyway, see, that's the thing. But the bardo, where the bardo becomes a little bit of a challenge, is that it can be, it's basically about going inside yourself and figuring out your own potential to transition here, dealing with the transition within ourselves. But during that process, depending on how painful this experience is, right, as it turns out, when it shows up in reverse, it can turn into form of hallucination, right, where you start hearing, you become, I want to say, temporarily insane. You start seeing visions of things that may not be there. It could be you start seeing, visions of previous lives as well, or whatever. Depends on what you believe in, right? Anyway, in the bardo, there's a potential to forgive the unforgivable, to say the unsaid, to see the unseen, to love the unloved, to let go of all things that causes us pain. The bardo suspends us in its spaciousness for just long enough to open us up to higher wisdom. Its energy does not belong to Earth as we know it, but rather to a cosmic network of which we are a single thread. It's basically the bardo, when it shows up like it can, in depending on what we're dealing with, right? I'm just throwing it out. We're going to start with the reading. But for instance, if people who have gone through like a heavy spiritual awakening, where it tends to start from something here coming out most of the time, depends on how it plays out for you, right? But a lot of people, something here depends. You know what we say that sometimes, I saw this quote that sometimes the soul wakes up because it's had enough. It just simply had enough of it putting up with shit it doesn't deserve. That tends to be like when the last drop, right? The last drop hits into the glass there, and that can then be the that apocalypse that sparks this massive transformation. And if it happens like that, situation that happened like that, I mean, I have witnessed it in terms of cheating or betrayal, basically betrayals, or continuous betrayal or something like that. Something comes out and then people kind of lose the footing for a while. That's the battle here. You can rise up and you start seeing things and all of that. It is actually a little bit of an unpleasant experience. Not when you're in it. It feels very amazing when you're in it, and then you gotta navigate it, and it's just can feel a little chaotic here. But the bardo, when it shows up in reverse, that can then be that you start gotta keep your footing here and come down into earth. But the revelation can feel a little bit, what the hell just happened there? When it's up like here, then it's about you being grounded enough to go in there and find another solution, look at things differently. But we're going to see how it plays out, right? It is a very, I mean, without going up on the higher level of that, from a mundane level, this is apocalypse. Is getting eureka moment, getting an idea, something becomes known here that you didn't expect, you didn't see that blind side. And then if you're capable, you go into that space where you kind of disconnect for a little bit, and you start using your imagination, your creativity here to think differently, basically, to adopt different mind patterns, to construct something new. And that can then lead here to you finding your inner warrior. What's the warrior? It's not the hunter. Which has also showed up a lot. The warrior is whatever it is that you want to fight for, and that is actually rather good to be connected to your warrior energy, because that brings you a sense of purpose, right? And it's a purpose that you can articulate. It's something that becomes rational. You can rationalize meaningfulness, right? Your meaning to your life, and happiness to your life, based on that purpose. But let's see how it plays out, right? That was 12 minutes in, but as I said, this might be a long reading here, because it's a very interesting energy. Right, we are using this. We are looking into, where are you right now in the known? Where are you in the known right now? Okay, for the collective here, what is known? What is in the known? What is in the known here for the collective? Okay, that's the bardo. I just went through the bardo. Okay, so let's call that a coincidence. And then we have Alephia down here. I mean, this is so interesting. Oh my god. Alephia. Alright, so we had the bardo there. What is Alephia? That's truth. But it's truth seen from the black and white. And we have here the father in reverse, twisted a little bit, which is basically about, it's a lack of guidance, basically. Then we have unconditional love, womb. You know what? This is alright, I'm gonna pull out some more cards. I'm gonna read Alephia. I'm gonna use my book so much today. Even though I have a clear understanding with them, it's just I want to see if there are any messages for you. Right? One thing is my interpretation, and another thing is what comes up. Our soul recognizes the truth. When someone speaks it, it's a cool wave of relief washes over the room, and all the facts and figures in the world fall by the wayside. Such is the power of Alephia. It has an undeniable resonance that goes beyond the rational. We can also recognize Alephia by its contagiousness. When we hear someone speak the truth, we see the truth within ourselves, and are more likely to tell our own story. The Alephia card requires us to step toward an act of truth. This might look like a conversation, a gesture, a poetic act, or a ritual that honors the unveiling of what has been concealed. Reclaiming your own truth is a way to reclaim your own vital energy, health, and a sense of belonging in the world. The truth has its own wings. Set it free. Yeah, and that also so funny. Look, it has revelation, disclosure, and clarity to it. What I'm picking up on is here that, you know, this is actually, we're moving into something very esoteric right now. Apocalypse here with Aletheia and Bardo. Bardo and Aletheia both speaks to ways of unveiling the truth, which goes beyond rationality, which goes beyond science. It goes beyond that which is logical. And then we have the father here showed a little bit. Yeah, that's, you know, that it goes beyond logic. So that is why, you know, as I said, it can feel like going crazy, because especially if the battle shows up in reverse, because especially if you are someone who's a very rational being. Yeah, if you are someone who's a very rational being, it can feel like, you know, that you're going crazy. I remember I went through this sometime. I actually went to get my brain checked. Got a scan. I'm not joking, I got a scan. Because I thought, what the hell is going on here? But when the worst was settled, I came back. It was basically a burnout. It was what it was. But as I said here, the Bardo and Aletheia, that is about. It's a very subjective experience. It's basically the High Priestess. Now let's pull out a tarot here. That's what is known. So what is known is the fact that there are potential here. What is known is that you are still not in the threshold, which is that door where you move into things, right? Let's look at the battle one more time. Let's look at it one more time here. If the empty room comes up, battle, yeah. Is spaciousness, forgiveness, and truth. I mean, it's all about truth, isn't it? You are in the, what is known here is the transition, as I said here. In the bardo, there is potential to forgive the unforgivable, to say the unsaid, to see the unseen, to love the unloved, to let go of all the things that causes us pain. The bardo suspends us in its spaciousness for just long enough to open us up to higher wisdom. This is an energy that does not belong to the earth, as opposed to the apocalypse is when things become earthbound, right? It does not belong to earth as we know it, but rather to the cosmic network of which we belong as a single thread, meaning that it belongs to your inner thought processes, into your own inner spirituality. This is your spirituality. That is why, you know, we remember that the temple has showed up. I mean, that was also on my list of energies to look into. The temple is basically the opposite. The temple is someone trying to dictate you. It depends on what it is, right? But that is the form of the organized belief systems. This is very much, it's almost like, you know, if you have to break away from a gang or particular mindset, cult, I want to say, depending what that cult is. I'm reminded back to what Aristotle, or was it him? He said that the way he went through forms of, I think it was in democracy or something like that. He said, rule by the many is, I can't remember, so I can't remember the quote, but there was, now I even lost it. He said something, no, actually I lost it. I completely lost it there. It will probably, it's annoying when that happens. God, that's annoying. Oh my God, I'm completely lost now. I hate when that happens. Completely, oh my God, there's nothing here. Let's blame it on the bardo. Oh my God, it's completely lost. It's literally a blank space right now. Alright, so coming back, I'm gonna abandon that. The liminal space where you go in to reveal the potential that they have always been here. You know, it's for instance like you go through the experience and maybe you never considered yourself to be a... Alright, let me give you an example. If I can find one. Let's say that you never considered yourself having children. And then one day something here happens and you start, it's a man, right? That you start, maybe they would like to be a father. Of course, it comes from within oneself, not from the outside. And we were talking here about being pushed from the outside with the temple, right? The temple as being the organized forms of, you know, what everyone else wants for you. But this energy here is very much about revealing truth from within yourself. It comes from within. That's how change also comes, right? Or the willingness, the motivation to deal with change. All right, let's just pull out the tarot. We're fucking 20 minutes in. We're not even getting anywhere. Show me here the battle. What is known to you? Too many. Oh, it's actually rather. It's the Knight of Pentacles and the Judgment. This is about, you know, it's basically reevaluating your plan. The Knight of Pentacles is that, you know, it's the typical energy of someone who had a particular fixed way of how they imagined their life to be. It was supposed to do this, that, and by the age of that, you would be there, this and that. And you go through life like that. The Knight of Pentacles, I mean, it's not uncommon to see the Knight of Pentacles show up for single man, women as well. But one day they wake up and they look around and like, where did all my options go? Because they were following their particular path, and if they forgot to take the time off and to spend to appreciate the small pleasures in life here, but you know, the Knight of Pentacles can feel a little bit like a tyranny sometimes. It can be. It's not because they are, it's because they have this, they want to provide, you know, they want to provide basically. The Knight of Pentacles wants to be a provider. But sometimes the Knight of Pentacles can lose track of time. Right? They are, it's the workaholic, right? The workaholic working so hard to achieve something, and then they wake up and like time has passed. And with the Judgment, that's a very significant energy. That's the Pluto. Where's Pluto right now? Fortunately, I think it's in Capricorn still. What is the Pluto? What is Pluto about? Pluto is about going deep inside into that dark cave with the Bardo here. I mean, it wouldn't surprise me. This is always how I envision it. I mean, I remember, what is it, the story of Pluto. Of someone here reaching a dark, dark pit, and they go deep down inside into the, you know, to death, basically. And Pluto comes and asks, are you ready to come up to the surface again, to see the sun? But are you then ready to let go of something here? Because you have to sacrifice something, you know, in order to come onto Earth again, come back from the death to the Earth. You have to sacrifice something. Are you ready to come into the light here? And someone sits there and say, no, I don't want to, because they don't want to face the pain. So Pluto leaves and leaves them in the darkness, still there. So they go and do more self-exploratory work on themselves, and then Pluto comes back and gives them this choice again here and says, do you want to come up into the surface here, where you can have a new beginning? And they say yes, but they have to release to get this new beginning. That's the story of Pluto. But you know what, that is basically what is known. Show me more here about that. What is known is that community here. God, I want to read that too. I want to read all the fucking energies. That's insane. All right, community, number 7. Confidence. Progression. Right, this is basically the step right before indecision. It's the connection with kindred spirits. This card shows 3 women celebrating, sharing ideas, and supportive energy. The light in the picture represents your ever-present spirit community as well. When this card appears upright, it indicates an association of some kind. It may be a casual connection or like-minded people, joining a club or community of a sort, or even a business partnership consisting of 3 or more. The time is right, blah, blah, blah. Network and community are important parts of the human experience, and the security and sense of connection can be beneficial to all. It's true that when several people join their intentions, it accelerates their power in the energetic realm. Receiving this card puts you on notice that the universe is sending some beneficial alliance your way. But if it happened to be in reverse, there's a sense of loneliness and disconnect with all associations. This may result in feelings of loss, grief, but take heart. It is often the case as you shift your energies into a higher vibration. You may find that you no longer resonate with the old acquaintances that you used to. If that is the case, it's time to move on to more resonant associations. Let yourself network in ways that reflect your higher intentions. You don't need to allow your isolation to continue, but it will take some conscious effort on your part. Is it time to reconnect? We're going to see. Show me more about that here. I mean, I'm not joking with the death and all this here. I'm actually possibly seeing a little bit of it's a disconnect to reconnect, right? It doesn't mean you have to leave everyone behind you, but it is finding inner strength and confidence. That is what is known. Okay, you know what? Let's see what is unknown here to you. Finding potential. Are we going to see where you are at? No, you know what? I'm going to see what is it that is known to you as you are. How do you show up in the known? How do you show up in the known? As a busy bee. Busy bee finding a lot of light here within yourself. It's the firefly. The firefly has a small glimpse of awareness about what... It's almost like... See, that's the thing. This apocalypse can't be that... I actually don't believe it's going to be that big of a revelation. Why did I suddenly have 2 cards lying here? Alright, I did not see those coming. Yeah, the firefly here, especially also with the tiger and we have the eagle there, right? And scorpion. I think you already know. I think you know the truth. It comes in you possibly through dreams if you were to listen. And right now, I feel as though you're taking on some kind of a new study almost. I don't know if you have. That's what I get here with the 7 of Wands. The 7 of Wands showed up for me in my mind's eye when I was looking into the apocalypse here, because as a response, right? Because when it comes to revelation, what will matter here is how. It's not basically about where the revelation will come from. I mean, a lot of people be far more focused on where will the revelation come from and all of that. What really, if we're pragmatic about it, what matters is how you will respond to the revelation. Not whether or not it comes from, that source up there, or I don't know, whatever source. The source. I mean, the source can be of, I don't know, spotting a text message. Whether or not that was triggered by something, you can basically drive yourself insane trying to figure out the source. What matter? I hate this snake. What matter is how you respond to it. Will you do whatever I do when I see that snake? I mean, I get scared of it every time. Alright, let's see. What is unknown? Oh, there we have Thanatos. Did the hovering snake around you die? No. Alright, let's see here. In that case, you better not send it my way. Stupid snake. Alright, let's see here. What do we have? What is unknown to you? That's interesting. We're going into 30 minutes in almost, and we're now getting into what is unknown to you. Passion. And there we have basically the same energies as before, except Alephia went one step down here, and then we just went straight to the Father. No, I'm gonna read that because that does not get discussed here, but it's a number 2. It's a number 2. It is alongside the mother. The father resides in the central axis of the archetypical family. The father embodies both light and dark aspects of the masculine. He is infinitively dynamic and complex. His energies his energy is strong and regal, embodying such virtues as honesty, wisdom, and loyalty. Virtues, vices and virtues. Anyway, yet ironically and simultaneously, the father is often absent, literally or emotionally. Through absence or action, the father eventually reveals that he is neither a king nor a god, because he is fucking human. That's the father. The father is not the king. He's not something in a big position. It's human. It's profane. But a human being with many flaws and wounds. He is both the guardian and the one who leaves us to the wolves. Yet here, yet gone. That's the father. He's here and he's gone. The champion and the failure. The father can never resolve or escape his duality. It is inherent in the archetype itself. Witnessing the father's limitation allows the child to grow beyond the family and into the world. When he is in the light, he is supportive, strategic, kind, and all that. When he is in the dark, he disappears. When he's disappointing and he becomes devastated by his failures, that he was not there. I mean, you've heard that, mother, father, but you know that, why was I not there when I needed to be there for my child? Father energy, and we have agape. That is love without conditions. Unconditional love, and remember, as I always say, in unconditional love, you are free. Someone here probably forgiving their father. But Eros, we're looking into Eros, another one of these. Oh my god, I'm reading every book. No, I can't believe but I'm doing that. I'm reading you all of them. Alright, if I feel it. The Eros is passion, it's not love. The Eros is actually I like to contrast these two as different from each other. This is love. Unconditional love without expectations. And not in that sense that because there's unconditional love, you should allow someone here to wound the hell out of you. No. But it's about, you can release, you can let go. The art of letting go. But let's see Eros here. The funny thing about Eros and Apocalypse, they are both in what we call the initiations. And Eros is the spark. Right, let me read this. Through Eros, though Eros can be depicted as unbridled sexuality in eroticism, a more contemplative understanding of this archetype energy leads us to the root of desire itself. What do we long for? Why are we awakened by love? What makes us hesitate in the face of intimacy? Eros reconnects us with the primal longing to merge with another human being. Music, nature, art, plants, food. You want to merge with food? Okay, fine enough. Or anything that we perceive as separate from. As we are separate from, right? Differentiation of forms. Anywho, Eros allows us to momentarily unite. Our heart embraces otherness, and in doing so, we further understand our own. Our life force awakens. This card reveals an inevitable initiation into love's labyrinth. You may find yourself swirling in a new territory of desire and sensuality. Explore the labyrinth with a curiosity and honest heart, and remember, though the way is circuitous, you are always being led towards its center. So when it is upright, we're dealing here with passion and playfulness, desire. It's just basically being able to smile again here. When it's in the reverse, we're talking about madness, projection, and obsession. Love as this is about desire as opposed to, I'm gonna look into agape. The agape, yeah. What if instead of putting yourself at the center of your spiritual practice, you put God? No, good. God is whatever, nature or whatever. How would this change your approach? Anyway, such is the energy. The energy is basically about, but what is meant by this is looking outside yourself, right? Rather than you set you love based upon what it is that you want, your desires. You love in ways where you respect that, it's not always about you, right? And that makes for instance, that's why we can love and be hurt by love. You can see someone we love and they do something that we want. We can look at them and say, maybe but they gotta make their own experiences, right? Anyway, it is alive when we are in awe and wonder, and our breath taken away by the sacred force that surrounds us and asks for nothing in return. This card can indicate a spiritual initiation that stretches our capacity to love and serve, blah, 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 blah. This is revenants on a... But see that when if that just happened to show up in reverse, which is rarely, it always shows up upright. But you know, but if it shows up in reverse, we're talking here about, you know, spiritual bypassing, about being righteousness. You know, that's you know, I gotta say, you know, it's the preach of unconditional love, which is, I don't know, unconditional love with expectations. Do you know what I mean? Is that I love you unconditionally, and because of that, you have to be with me. No, that's always, you know, if you really, really love someone, you can always. That's this test that. You know, that when people come and say, how can I help my partner understand this and that, whatever, and I say, oh, you really want to help them, right? Yeah, but they really want to help them. All right, what if you then put in all the effort and then you help them and then you understand and they leave you? But if that's the right thing for them, then no. If they honestly truly can say, it's okay, I want what's best for them, even if that means us not being together. That's agape. Right, and it's not coming from a martyrdom either, right? It's not about, you know, oh, then give me something. No, it's not. It's honestly, you know, it fucking sucks, but you can do it, because you know it's not about, you know, it's just melancholy. So yeah, it's a bit, you know, focus. But if you're doing it, you come in and you say, I want what's best for my partner, because then they will come back to me, because I love them unconditionally. Yeah. Is that self-serving a little bit? But, you know, just saying it. But what you don't see is errors. Let's see what else we have here. Sorry, guys. It's a long reading, this one. They can't be... I knew that with the apocalypse. I knew going into it, it would be one. So what do we have here with errors? What is unseen to you? What is unseen to you? So passion drives... Too many. Show me what is unseen. Alright, you know, everything here screams sex. And boredom. It's the 8 of Wands. Something here, passionate. So this is actually a good one. I was actually going to be a little bit, oh, no. We're going into apocalypse. As I said, it could be a painful experience. But again, it really depends on how you deal with change. And because you already have little glimpses of it. And you appear here as though you're working very hard. You still have that fixed plan, you know. I don't know if that is something that you're going to look into, that Knight of Pentacles. There's something about that Knight of Pentacles here. Some of you work very hard patiently on something here, right? Going from a Page of Pentacles up to the Knight of Pentacles. I mean, you see, that's the thing. You got to remember that the Suit of Pentacles is a very, very slow-moving energy. The Pentacles take time. I got to be honest, to me, I mean, to go through the entire Suit of Pentacles, depending on what we're talking about, it could easily take 10 years. Or at least 5, you know. Consider it like taking an education. Like a 5-year-old, five years at least. It's a very slow-moving energy. Because you gotta put in a lot of work, put in a lot of concentration. You gotta see things grow, and then watch it, and then see the results of it, and then learn how to assess it again. It takes time. As opposed to the Wands here, that can flash up. So something here is coming towards you very, 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 very quickly. And it has to do with accepting, most likely also, the flaws in someone. This is, especially if it comes in the shape of, you know, someone with a masculine energy, it's about accepting them as being fucking human. Right? This is said, the father is earthly. It's not some kind of a divine being that has no flaws. Everyone has flaws. And we got to also accept our own flaws. That sometimes we are there and sometimes we are not there. Spiritual love, probably. Alright, let's see. Poised in reverse. I'm reading that again. I'm reading all of the cards coming out today. It's almost embarrassing, isn't it? We have 48. But it shows up in reverse. What is it? When you have in reverse, is prosperity or something. Poised is basically being ready, bringing something into the light and being at your best. You're ready for anything right now. You can't be assured that you're ready for anything right now, but it's show up in reverse here. Okay, I'm just gonna say, this is interesting. You know what you need to know. Your skills are sharp. You come to this place armed with wisdom and knowledge, but it shows up in reverse here, right? So it actually is about, you know, maybe you're not ready. Is it because you're not happy and confident in your own skin? Are you ready for deeper, more intimate relationship? Or do you still feel as though you have something to prove? Where was that? Protection message, that was right. Yeah, it said Red Sea. You are not ready to move forward at this time, and that has to be okay. Be poised in the face of demands and deadlines. Pretending you know what you're doing works sometimes, but if you adopt a fake it till you make it attitude, it will land you in some muck now. This is not the time to wing it or deliver something half finished. It's okay to postpone things until you are really ready. It's better to disappoint others now than wish you had later. I gotta be honest, what I'm picking up on here right now is actually something that has to do with, now we're coming up here with these Knight of Pentacles here. I'm not sure if this is you or someone that's attached to you here, and what you don't see is that the Knight of Pentacles can really disappoint. Because if the Knight of Pentacles has this idea that they are, the Knight of Pentacles always wants to be in a particular place before they, for instance, engage into relationships. And they can really disappoint someone if they show up with a lot of passion here and then they're not ready. But they can create the illusion that they were ready. Well, you know, I'm gonna need more here, what you don't see. All that glitters. What you don't see within yourself is that you are still working on achieving the skills that are needed here in order for you to achieve something here to come quickly. As a decision. And someone here is just not there with you. It might be that someone here is about to make their way into your life, but are they ready? I don't think the timing is right here. Well, let's see. That's what's unknown. What is going to be uncovered? What is the truth that will be revealed? Let's look into that. I mean, probably going to last an hour, this reading. What is the truth that will be unreal? What is the truth that will be uncovered, unveiled? What is the truth there, Apocalypse? The Destroyer. And the Medallion. The Destroyer is letting go. This is basically death card. Something here is being let go. I don't know. I see some of you possibly build. Do you know that when you break up and you go throw out a ring into the lake or something like that, or tennis catch or whatever you want to throw down? Got that. The funny thing is, I see the vision here in reverse. The vision ties together with the apocalypse in the sense of, you know, speaking of where does the revelation emerge from? Does it stem from within yourself? Or is it that, I mean, is it your knowledge? Is it your vision? Or is it that someone else tells you something? It's basically, that's the question I get here in that. Where are you figuring out the revelation from? What is the Destroyer? I'm going to pull out the energies here. What truth is being... No, hold on. What don't you see about yourself? Reason why I asked for that is that we have here the Elephant, which is about coming onto your own path here, right? But remember that something here was not ready. It was possibly almost coming too quickly. and it's almost as though something here happens too quickly, or did happen too quickly. We're going to look into it. There's a feminine energy here that is too kind, too nurturing. Can you really be that someone is too kind? For fuck's sake, I cannot stop it. It does it every time. Alright, that's it. We're looking into here. What truth is being uncovered here? Stupid snake. What is truth is being uncovered here? What truth is being uncovered here? I give up. It's the Queen of Cups. Stupid Queen of Cups. I love this Queen of Cups. This is the best depiction of the Queen of Cups I have ever seen. I fall in love with her every time I see her. She is so beautiful in this deck. I mean, this is the Queen of Cups when she's best. Every time I see this Queen of Cups, I just want to take her and I just want to do this. Like, no one ever hurts her. Because it really screams the vulnerability that's in her. Yeah, she can be a little bit annoying. Especially because she is very sensitive, but that sensitivity is needed for her to deal with her, to work with her creativity. So what is being uncovered is the Queen of Cups and the Destroyer, and a door to spirit, and chaos and conflict. Holy shit. So this is weird, because when I look here about what is known to you, right? This is the weird. Why are you going like on a regression or somehow? See, how can I explain this? It's like you already know this. Thankfully for this firefly here, right? And that you are in the battle, you are in a transit mode, it's not movement taking place here. You also have this judgment, which is about bringing things into the light here. And seeing possibly that more work is needed. You might be met here with opposition. Because what you don't see here is that, things are not ready, even though the passion is coming here quickly. Quick action. But it's not ready-made, it's not cooked. So it's about, you can bulldoze your way into your path. What's that glitter and gold there? Oh, you can stand strong, because the elephant always knows the way back home. The elephant always have an inner knowing of their journey. They can always return for water. Not that I'm not supporting that. Letting. It's not about having someone here come and allow someone here to treat your life as a train station, right? So they can come back and go as they please. Don't do that. Personal opinion, of course, here. Yeah. I want to look at see here. A need to see beyond the superficial. The desire to don a mask or to dress something up in disguise, to disguise his true nature, trying to be something you're not and chasing after every sparkly thing and being too much in your head here, right? It's only human to want to adorn yourself in trinkets and paint a pretty picture of oneself. It's natural to want to acquire the trappings of status or to deny them as a statement of rebellion. But if it sparkles, is it then better? Whether or not it's a fast car, a big house, a title or position, or the stamp of authority, or the sparkling of diamonds, these icons let you know something about a person, a place, or thing. Or do they? The truth is that people seek to acquire things because they will do for them, of what they will do for them, and how they will symbolically will elevate them and make them more attractive. This card signals that it's time to see beyond the adornments and probe underneath the surface. Learn to recognize the mask people wear and the motives that underlies them. Imagine that all glitter is gone. Would you still desire the object or the person? Something here is not ready. This is what is the blind side was being uncovered here, is that someone here, be it you or whatever, it could actually also be you, that you're chasing something for status. And then the question is to see, you know, you're chasing it not from love, you're chasing it from desire. And then we're actually coming into a question about, you know, temperance, the temperance energy, or just the basic of tempering, you know, that of having balance, saying that, you know, you knowing when to eat in ways where you don't eat too much and you don't eat too little, right? Is that balance is basically, you know, that was actually the hunter energy as opposed to the warrior, right? The hunter is knowing when enough is enough. But glitter here, something is not ready. It's basically, you know, it's honestly, this is actually the chasing energy. The chaser keeps showing up. I did a reading yesterday on the 9 of Wands. I am definitely not gonna upload that because that was brutal. I looked it over and I was like, I'm a bitch in that reading. I'm not gonna give that because that would probably trigger someone. It's very mean. Because it started very beautifully and then I was like, oh my god, what the fuck. See, sometimes I'm a bitch, alright? Sorry. But it is that. That is what is unknown here. I mean, for some of you, yeah, is it you? Is it you that you are attaching too much value onto something of status? Like, I have to reach that position because of money, or because of, then I will appear to be, I don't know, better. Or you then, in that case, if you then can't find it within yourself, are you then chasing it through someone else? You know, it's basically, you know, heard that when you know you want something from your ego, if it is that when you want it, when you get it, you don't want it. You put it up too much on a high pedestal, and then when you get it, you don't want it. That was your ego chasing, like, what did the give to you? Anywho, what is being unreeled here is then the Queen of Cups here with the Destroyer and door to spirit and chaos and conflict. 3, 3, 3, 2. 32, 33, that's so interesting. Look at that. And what is this? This is 23. A lot about the free, and right. But the free. What is the free in terms of numerology? That's the Empress. That is the Three of Cups, the Three of Wands, the Three of Swords, and the Three of Pentacles. They are all about, for instance, being a pro-social teammate, which came up a lot in the other readings as well. Being there with each other, even when you're also opponent, being compassionate and working with each other. Celebrating, taking chances. Oh, there's always something creative with it, right? But there's also pain. See here with the revelation, there's always something pain. They get the Three of Swords right now as, you know, being what is known, what is unknown, and then see the third sword as what's being that's basically the pain, the sword of truth that's being slammed down here to just bring forms of separation here. And then we have this door to spirit that's opening up, that's being uncovered. There's a new door opening up. Who is this? Who is this Queen of Cups? Queen of Swords. Oh. This is a little bit sad. No, sad. It's needed. All right. This is the Queen of Cups. She's transmuting. Who she's transmuting to? The Queen of Swords. Why? Spiritual awakening. Something is coming her way here. I get. I'm gonna say I'm seeing. Oh no! I don't want to see this. All right. No, that was just okay. It's nothing major. It's just need to sleep. The Queen of Cups has Gemini in her. She has the Cancerian in her, that's sweet, kind, nurturing. She also has Gemini. What is Gemini? Well, she communicates, that's why she talks a lot, right? The Queen of Cups is very communicative. She's very silly. I love her. She's very silly. She can also be very, yeah. She's often, not recognized for her intelligence as well. She's always presented as, you know, the sweetness. She is sweet. She is intelligent, and that is going through a door's spirit here, and that's where she comes out as a Queen of Swords. The problem is, this journey here is that can, if she's not careful, she can lose out on her kindness. But it's still, yeah, because I see her. This is a little bit okay. It screams forms of awakening here, where love is actually being subsided here. So what is being uncovered here? Gotta look up at the book, okay? Show me the 33 here and the destroyer, and then we're gonna see it, because it's not a bad energy. It's just basically that someone has changed. 33. Chaos and conflict. Disarray and being at cross purpose with each other. As we had with the apocalypse, right? There were two opposite energies. They were not alignment. Opposing forces come together to create a turbulent atmosphere. But consider the value of chaos that serves you well, as you become unmoored by it. Scattered by the winds, you leave behind the parts of yourself that you no longer need, and disperse seeds to reinvent yourself anew. Although the conflict appears to exist externally, the essence is also internal, projected outward and causing disarray. You may find yourself at cross purposes with someone else, facing a storm you feel you can't control. Yet every storm passes, and chaos leads to a reordering of things. Conflict provides a way to see more than one side of a situation. Look upon this as just a moment in time when you may need to take shelter and step away from the fray. Don't be too eager to fight. It's time to understand rather than to be understood. This is going to piss someone off here. Now, I like this. It's time to understand rather than to be understood. Sometimes we can spend a lot of time trying to get other people to understand us, when in fact, sometimes it's better to just understand that someone they're not interested in understanding you. You can say, can't you just understand me? Not if they don't want to. Speaking of that, Knight of Pentacles. If they don't want to take in what it is that you have to give, you can create an atmosphere there, right? And that is when we have all of this is what is blind, which is if it's just passion. For instance, if you have in a connection here where it's not love, it's passion based. Honestly, if it's just passion, I'm gonna say something. If it's just passion, you're just a body, or they are just a body. There's no interest in who you are. That's passion. Love is interest in listening to how your day went. They're interested in you as a human, as a person, as they want to celebrate your victories with you. That's the Three of Cups, right? Celebrate. Opposing forces come together, create a turbulent atmosphere. It serves you because you're coming out changed here. You're leaving behind parts of yourself you no longer need to disperse and reinvent yourself. And that was when I looked at this Queen of Cups. So she's transforming into a Queen of Swords. Love is dying. Love is being destroyed. So for someone here, if there's someone here in this image who has come with the Knight of Pentacles, which is a slow moving energy, and they can become very selfish here, and they with the reconciliation that came up here, that's just for someone coming back to reconcile. In some cases, just for few, right? Just give an example. I mean, it doesn't have to be that you were in physical departure or distance from each other. It's just that, I mean, you can live together and still become distant from each other and remove yourself because you forget to spend fucking time together, quality time. You forget to talk. You forget each other. Then boredom takes place, which is what we have with the Four of Cups. And when boredom takes place, it can start out as hate, but when it turns into boredom, I mean, if love turns into boredom, it's dead. And that's where we have the Destroyer. And that is when we see Queen of Cups. Shows up as a feminine energy here, right? Gone from being devoted and kind. And I mean, you mean she would look at you, or he or she might look at you with eyes of, you know, like a puppy, because that's what the Queen does. She loves hard. But if she is left in boredom, you get the Queen of Swords. She does not. She has no emotion. She's not. She's a sweet. It's not because the Queen of Swords often get a very nasty reputation. She's not deserving of that. She's just not in love. The Queen of Swords is not in love. She has empathy. She has a compassion. She will still be kind and all that, and have grace and dignity. She's not in love. She's in love. She could have been in love. Love has died. Destroyed here. Chaos and conflict, I don't know. I'm also seeing like a strong intelligence. I mean, I am seeing a little bit of a dark night of the soul here for some, right? But, you know, I know. I'm seeing here. For some, we're actually dealing with someone here having gone out and they were left in boredom. They spent time working on themselves and they felt not chosen. So they probably dated someone else. And for some of them, for someone here, someone is coming back to someone who has married someone else. If this is a reconciliation, then there must have been a long period of time, because if someone managed to get married to someone else, I mean, are we already up on 1 hour? I want to read the Destroyer, and then we're gonna see a little bit more, because I'm really curious about this one. Sorry, guys, I knew it when I was going into it, because this Apocalypse really drew me in. I mean, it was like, what? It showed up for especially Aquarius and Capricorn. Oh, the Destroyer. But it shows up in many ways. It shows up because the energies on the table showed up for all the signs. Show me the Destroyer. No, yeah, Destroyer. Show me the Destroyer. It's a personality trait. Yes, it's a personality trait to be a destroyer. A little bulldozer. It's not the sustainer. It's that which destroys. The Destroyer is the final three archetypes of the trio of existence. It has necessary yet painful work to do in the world. Culturally, we have an aversion to endings, and we hang on to performance as a signifier of success. Performance-driven society, right? The Destroyer pulls the rug from underneath relationships, jobs, homes, and all forms of security. It's the part of us that wants things to end. It's the painful orientation to. Its painful orientation is to uncover our true purpose. The Destroyer does not let us linger long in comforts, as it knows not much happens in that realm. With its piercing eyes, it seeks out stagnancy from a distance, and the rest becomes history. In the old myth, this is the moment where heads begin to roll. The ground opens up and the castle crumble. Hold on for the ride. The Destroyer has arrived. Heads will roll. That's interesting, right? And heads will roll. Is this why we have been I did a 5 of Swords reading at one point for the Queen of Cups, which was about her turning. She was becoming a warrior. She was battling. She was getting ready for battle mode. Daughter spirit there. I'm actually picking up on what's gonna happen here is that someone here will realize that they have you, right, or whoever who this resonates, whenever this played out, for some it already played out, right, will recognize that they have it's not for them. What they don't see, it will become truth. I'm not really sure what will be uncovered here. Honestly, I'm actually picking up on someone here understanding that took too long. No. Anyway, it's just head will roll. It's let go. Something here is completely let go. It's done. But after that, there's a door here to a new path with more passion. But it is, I mean, I'm seeing heartbreak. I'm seeing someone here absolutely liberating themselves. Because you know what I'm seeing on the other side here? I'm seeing a choice, you know. Will you go through the door here to spirit, which is what I'm seeing most doing, because I can see what's on the other side here, on the blind side. It's terrible. I'm not sure. It's absolutely terrible. Oh my god, this is, I wouldn't wish this for anyone. Oh, 7 of Swords, 6 of Wands, Temperance, Chariot, 5 of Swords, 7 of Cups, 2 of Wands, 5 of Wands, 5 of Cups, Death, King of Swords. Oh my god, it's just terrible. It's 3 of Swords, it's a terrible cycle that I want to say. Yes, I'm picking up on it being terrible. Because it's devaluation upon devaluation and destroying or losing out on your own, basically giving away your purpose. You ever heard that song from Selena Gomez? I had to lose you to find me. But she says this, there's a phrase in it saying, she set fire to her purpose. Listen to that song. Is that you got off on the hurting and I set fire to my purpose. Set fire. That was basically what struck me with that song. To set fire to your purpose. I mean, does it... Happiness. When we talk of happiness, it's the question of what constitutes a meaningful life for you. To set fire to your purpose. Alright, last one. Who will you be at the end of this? And then we're done. Who will you be at the end of this? Should probably do a quick... I will probably do a short stalk of the week as well. Not on this one. This is more like I'm interested in it. Alright. Who will you be at the end of it? Oh, that's not it. I saw the turtle. Wisdom. Who will you be at the end of this? I'm seeing 2. There are 2 options. A butterfly or a moth. That's, you know, that makes sense that we have, you know, there's a choice for everyone. To start come out into the lights here. To start, you know, fold out your wings. I wouldn't surprise I'm picking up on 2 timelines. It depends on which direction you go. I mean, I see it in the I see it when I do the readings, and I see it in who comes here. Different timelines. Coming out as a butterfly or the moth. The moth goes in and does the work. The moth is still coming out here of the light, into the light, right? But when it comes out, it can come out as a butterfly. But it has to be mindfulness. You know, these things do not come just like that. A door needs to be chosen. You need to go through that door. Chasing what is glitter and what is gold when faced with conflict, or go through the door of spirit. When you become up, the moth can chase around, you know, looking for light everywhere else. You know, like the moth flocks to the light, chasing that glitter and that gold. Become a butterfly. Transformation. And remember where I see you now, you're the firefly. You have that light here in your belly. It's shining. It's coming in glimpses. You're seeing these potential here. I actually guess though you know this. You know this. You know this is coming. To set fire to your purpose, or to face challenges dead on. How will you deal with chaos and conflict around you? When it comes, for some of you, it's actually also about, you know, dealing with the impulse control, meaning that can you temper? It's going to be, yeah, interesting. But looking upon what you see as known, I feel as though you got this, because the known energy is extremely strong. You're very, very strong in the known energy. Extremely. The unknown here. could be your environment, could be someone in your life you're dealing with, but they will then trigger you, you know, so careful. All right, guys, I hope you got something here for it from this reading. It's time for me to do your weekly tea of the weeks now, and possibly also a brief I should probably do the Empress. Well, I'm at it. I'm in it. Again, if there are particular readings you would like to see, let me know in the commentary, and I will take it into consideration. I love doing these collective readings. They give me more than the all signs, even though they are long. All right, even though they're long, I'm sorry about that. All right, that's it. That's what I have for you. I will see you. Ciao.